Hello, soon-to-be Masters of Design. This week, Professor Brandon is going to go over the elements of art, and hopefully, he will learn to speak in first person. The elements of art are essential for design, so let's take a look at them. First, we have line. If you think about it, lines only exist on paper. When you take a look at Bugs Bunny, we see a huge line separating him from the rest of the background. But this rabbit has no outline. This is because lines don't exist, and artists use them to help distinguish shapes as separate from one another. Lines can be straight or curved, they can be realistic or abstract. They also create objects and shapes, which brings me into my next element, shape. Shape is pretty much what you would expect. Circles, squares, triangles, even this catastrophe counts as a shape. They're always two-dimensional and can only exist in abstract art. Also, because we're talking about squares and not cubes, it can't exist in realistic art. But cubes can exist in realistic art, and that is because they belong to the next element, form. Form is an object that takes up three-dimensional space. Cubes and spheres are great examples of form, but we can take it even further than that. People, animals, and architecture all count. Up next, we have color. Everyone knows what color is, but taking full advantage of it is easier said than done. Let's say we wanted to draw a castle on top of a hill. We draw green grass and a blue sky, and boom! We have a happy little castle on top of a hill. But if we make the grass brown and the sky purple, it suddenly becomes Dracula's castle. To put it simply, color matters. After that comes value. Value is the range from dark to light. You can create some amazing art with a lot of great contrast and colors. Or if you're me, after getting bored from listening to a repeat lecture in college, you can create a project with no value whatsoever. Because all the colors have the same value, if you convert the colored picture into black and white, Batman completely disappears. And then we have texture, which is the way that a surface area looks to the touch. A great example of this would be bark on a tree. Although it's just a picture on a screen, it's easy to imagine what it would feel like if you were to touch it. Touch. Don't touch. Lastly, there was spacing. Space can be tricky. It's the distance from one piece of the picture to another. You can have a nice comfortable piece where all the elements are well spaced and it's easy to look at, or you could have a bunch of pieces clustered together as a means of making it less comfortable. A bad example of spacing would be if you're trying to highlight two separate pieces, but they are too close together to identify both individually. And there you have it, all 7 elements of art. To give a quick recap, just remember that Toto taught us to hold the line. Brandon needs to get into shape, but it would be more accurate to say that I need to get into form because I am not a shape. We need to paint with all the colors of the wind. Batman is worthless, but this has value. Gee, Thanos' chin has a surprising amount of texture. When coming across an angry deer, give him some space. And while it's important to know the elements of art, you also need to know the principles of design in order to make something good out of it. So that's what I'm going to cover next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, be sure to share it with your friends, give it a thumbs up, and consider subscribing, and stay tuned.